Coming to learn that even though we look at emotions as either good or bad, they're really not. The title of this poem is 123, Hell, Mary, I hope you're full of grace. Or the day I decided not to single-handedly save the world, or did I? What if you felt the void of love unconditional? Empathy, missing. Understanding, missing. How do you get them to understand that a banner is a stinging reminder of the stain America refuses to acknowledge? Get them to confront the dirty past, present, and future? All right. Hi, everybody. Hi. All right. Well, we're just going to go with the flow. See how this goes. Thank you all for taking time out on your Sunday. He's going to adjust this for me. Thank you, Scott. All right. So I'm just going to jump right in. The title of this is Lost and Found. I felt light after suiting up for the day, like a bit less power was with me, as if there was a chink in my armor. I had meditated, deeply breathed, prayed, and vowed to be kind to all I would encounter this day. Yes, I had my full armor on, breastplate, sword, shield, feet shod with the gospel of peace. And then I saw what was missing. I had a mere 10 minutes to do a cursory look, a retrace of a few steps. No time to sweep thoroughly like the woman in Luke chapter 15. Nowhere were you to be found. I lamented to a friend about my loss, just like her, but determined to continue on with the day. I got through the first hours and then decided to do another more thorough sweep. Move the seat up, feel beneath in the nooks and crannies, and there you were. That piece of my daily armor that announces to the world, along with my gait and stance, that a powerful woman is in your presence, my silver hoop earring. This poem was developed at a Meta Factory workshop with Louise Robertson, and she puts these on and to help poets like me, I guess, get some juices flowing. This was from Things I Carry Into This World by Cynthia Manick from Blue Hallelujahs, and the prompt was My Body Tells Me by Catherine Bevis. I had a perfect body at one time in my life. At least I thought it was perfect. Prior to that time of perfect bodiness, I used to eat potatoes of all types all day long because that rail thin body I had, I despised. By the way, the potato diet didn't work. Suddenly, I developed a perfect body in my own estimation. And I mean, the world around me seemed to like it, so, well, there's that. Then one day, the perfect body morphed into a body that is worse than the rail thin body. But the world really doesn't like this body much. Now I've come to terms somewhat with the body I have. More accepting on some days, more so than others. But that said, I've always had fat knees. The title of this is Where Are All the Black Madonnas? Or Why Is It Taking Me So Long to Realize Black Madonna is Important? I know about one Black Madonna. It's on the west end of the ATL at a shrine. But it seems the Black Madonna is a thing. I mean, a really big thing. But in my years, how is it that I never knew? I want to bask at the feet of the Black Madonna, but where are they? Seems that the French have colonized many a Black Madonna, or so I've been told. I long now for a Black Madonna to hold me and tell me the secrets of my divineness. Thank you. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. Albert Einstein. I wonder if that holds true when your imagination has you feeling like an unconfirmed invader inside of you. Jeremiah says it's like fire in his bones, but for me, it's more in my tissue. But is it there because my great intelligence, which culminates in my imagination, is feeding off the little knowledge I have about a particular subject? I have to tell you this. Well, actually, I really don't have to, but I want to. I love listening to sounds. The sound of cars driving by my open window, voices floating up as people take a walk, or the sound of the lawnmower over the neighbor's yard. Trash cans being rolled back and forth to the curb, or the usual place in the driveway. Music pounding from the impromptu party next door, or the car whizzing down the street. Words from other poets, or utterances in confidence. The shapes and nuances. I listen to the body language or sign language spoken by others, the language of culture, dress, fashion, food, opinions, a sensory immersion that starts all because I am willing to listen. This is an anaphora, and it's inspired by Middle Passage by Cynthia Manick. I like being still. I like being at peace with others. I like being in conversations. I like being challenged to stretch my mind and body. I like being alone. I like being with others too. I like being heard. I like being seen. I like being away from home. I like being at home also. I like being around younger people who inspire and teach me. I like being immersed in the moment. I like being. This poem, next poem I'm going to read, is inspired by, I'm a member of an organization called Girl Trek. And Girl Trek is the #1 national health organization for Black women's health. And they have their motto is the Harriet Tubman doctrine. Get yourself free, then you go back and get somebody else. And how they propose to do that is you walk 5 days, 30 minutes a day for your health. And they did started some Black History boot camps during the pandemic. And we would log in and we could hear them talking. And they would teach us about various humans, mostly Black women who had done amazing things. And many of us had never heard of before. But they started with a Daughters Of campaign because what they wanted us to do was begin to know who we were. Who we are the daughter of, and who's that daughter of, and however far back you can go. So this poem is my daughter's poem. It's called In the Beginning. I am Marquita, mother, sister, friend, ally, accomplice. Take no hostages, but hold all prisoners. Giver of all things. Daughter of Joanne, the one who taught Marquita to be who she is. Still standing strong and holding court and reminding folk of the smoke they don't want. Daughter of Thelma, who showed Joanne strong and resolved and learned it in the ways of God himself, family, church, making unpopular choices for self-preservation or elusive happiness. Daughter of Catherine, who made a place in this world for her children, sons and daughters, but in later years chose solitude with husband number 3. Daughter of a woman whose name I know not yet, but she is of the Tikar people of the grasslands of Cameroon, Africa. That is my origin story. Right, because I feel like I'm speed racing. So those poems was my way of introducing myself to you, or how I see myself, and for those that don't know me. This next set of poems is about emotions. And I'm coming to learn that even though we look at emotions as either good or bad, they're really not. Emotions are just emotions, and it's our response to what the emotion brings up in us that makes us place it in a place. So this one, I said I'm learning. This one is called Negative Emotions. Emptiness is like a void or absence of substance. A galaxy with no stars, so no way to find it. Nothing to land on, nowhere to plant your feet. No fluffy clouds to give you images of whatever shapes you find in them. No lust, hunger, want, lack, joy, sadness, or buoyancy. It feels like lost dreams that can't be awakened, can't touch, be felt, seen, or heard. Nothing to attach itself to or allow attachment. Not a blip detected by radio or sound waves. No emergence from darkness. No acknowledgement or understanding. No anticipation of what's next, because next does not exist here. So in May of last year, I took a week-long poetry workshop via Zoom. The leader of the workshop is in California. And I was blessed to be the recipient of a scholarship to attend it. A scholarship provided by Streetlight Guild. Shout out to Streetlight Guild. And so now I'm starting to learn a little bit about forms of poetry and things like that, and different types of poetry. So I never knew there was such a thing as a curse poem. But this is a curse poem. What if you felt the void of love unconditional? Empathy, missing. Understanding, missing. Support, missing. Soft landings, missing. Well wishes, missing. Flaws, exposed. Lies, exposed. Perpetrations, exposed. Facades, exposed. Your back, exposed. Intentionality, gone. How does it feel? The title of this is A Feigned Indifference. Love is a serious mental disease. Plato. In and of itself, a noble undertaking. It can have various connotations at any given moment. It can build up as well as tear down the giver and receiver of it. Pleasure has been known to come from it, or pain, and even death. It has no exact commitment or ties to anyone or anything, because its fluidity is given or withheld at will. So elusive, yet at times concrete. Sure, but unreliable. Love. January 25th, 2024. Today, I sat in front of the place you used to live. In the front yard lay a Barbie flag, dirty and wet. A reminder of how much life used to live there. The lives still being shaped and informed by the experiences lived within and without. Today, I cried while waiting to sense anything to circumvent the hurt I feel, knowing those left behind are also navigating feelings never before and the not knowing how tomorrow will feel. And Barbie smiled through the dirt and the rain. Excuse me while I get myself together. I didn't expect that. I took one out specifically for that reason. But every time I read it, oh, thank you, I would start tearing up, and this one wasn't doing that. Okay. Well, there's a little break. At least now you know I'm human. The title of this poem is 1, 2, 3. Hell, Mary, I hope you're full of grace. Or the day I decided not to single-handedly save the world. Or did I? Yesterday, I did not pray for you. Is that unkind or unchristian-like? Judge me if you will or want. But yesterday, I could not pray for you. My level of irritation of my situation would not allow me to muster up the strength, and my faith was missing a beat. So yesterday, I prayed for me. Yeah. Thank you. What is grief? I wrote this in May of 2023. The bottom of a well with no visible means of escape from the drought of nothingness. Yet rivulets of water trickle down the walls, but not enough to collect so you could just drown or tread water as it arises. Glimpses of horizons or blue skies or mountains or tree canopies. There is a strange comfort in the settling of this sorrow that encourages and engages you to live with it forever. Yet there is nudging, sometimes a tugging to move to the side, left or right, front or back, up or down, because, excuse me, even that could change your perspective. The view may be greener, bluer, fuller, brighter, but that feels like work. And work is the last thing you are capable of right now. Thank you. This next set is coming from a place of oppression, of people being oppressed, of how people stand up to that oppression or have stood up to it, and just to remind us that oppression is still going on in the world. The title of this one is When, What, Where, Why, How. Thank you, Bree Newsom. When they won't remove a waving symbol of racism, what do? Where can a black person go and not have to think about their blackness? Why must they insist on inflicting pain relentlessly and saying that this symbol is not divisive? How do you get them to understand that a banner is a stinging reminder of the stain America refuses to acknowledge? Get them to confront the dirty past, present, and future? You climb the flagpole and take it down yourself. And that's just what a young lady named Bree Newsom did in South Carolina. She climbed the flagpole in front of the State House and took that Confederate flag down. Wow. Yeah. She's my hero. She-ro, all of that. That took some guts. And I don't know, last time you looked at a flagpole, they pretty slick. I don't know how, I took some training to get up the flagpole in the first place. This is funny how time flies, even when you aren't having fun, or does it? This was written 3/16/23. It's only been 4 years since Broadway turned off the lights and the darkness threatened to overtake us. It's only been 4 years since the mask went on and came off simultaneously. It's only been 4 years since the siren went out on the voice of a nation in the hail of a 32-bullet salute in the darkness. It's only been 4 years since Black Santa, emerging from a garage talking on the phone, was left lying on the cold concrete. It's only been 4 years since a brother took a sightseeing tour and now has stopped running. It's only been 4 years since the twin towers of oppression rested on the neck of a people who just wanted to be outside on such a joyous occasion as a sunny day, ready to give up the fun times. It's only been 4 years. That seems like a lifetime. It's only been. Thank you. You know, they say that we need to pay attention to what the poets and the writers are paying attention to and are saying, because they can really teach us about what's going on in the world and what we need to be paying attention to far before it ever just brought full-blown to our attention. This poem was written May 10th, 2023. A song for Palestine. Colonization knows no bounds. The throne of England is an exploiter worldwide. The taking and giving of native lands is the currency used so often. To strip a people native to a land and eradicate or try to their culture is such a harsh punctuation on humanity. Your song, strangled before the note can sing in the air. The riches of the land extrapolated for use by another so as to leave you impoverished and wanting. You can point to a date, 1948, when it felt like all hope was gone, but the strength of the ancestors and their stories and fights allowed you to continue marching on for the dignity of human rights. Children born into a war that has been going on for all their life, no matter how short or long. Eyes wide that dare not hope for joy long term, or a time when sirens to signal the bunkering down in a place that might shield from harm or grief. Know not the freedom of being able to roam far away from home, or have a say in any matter affecting them. The sorrow they must hold without formal learning of how to, or even if they should. The title of this is Don't Forget Claudette. Claudette was a young woman of about 15 years old in Montgomery, Alabama. Yes. And she sat in 1955. But you didn't hear a lot about Claudette. You heard about when Rosa Parks sat in December. Claudette sat in the spring. But she couldn't be the face of the civil rights movement. She was poor, nappy-headed, come to find out later, pregnant, high school girl from the wrong side of the tracks. So this is for her. Don't forget Claudette. Montgomery, Alabama was the setting. Jim Crow laws in 1955, the Constitution. There she was with her hair in its natural state, head held high amid jokes from all. She sat. Poor and unprotected, she sat. Full of pride invoked by the ancestors, she sat. In the knowledge of her humanity, she sat. Armed with the knowledge of personhood granted to her by the 14th Amendment, she sat. Knowing the land, the law of the land in Alabama, USA, would afford her no protection, she sat. There is so much going on in the world. Wars in the Sudan. We know Palestine, what's going on in Gaza. The Democratic and the Congo. And so it's interesting that the poem I wrote directly about Palestine was like 5 months before October 7th happened. And this one I wrote in October of last year after going to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And in one of the rooms I sat, they were playing when the Beatles had got inducted in the tribute. And so song came on, and there was this line of people playing guitar. And in that line was a guy, and you didn't even really notice him at first. He had on a red hat, but he was playing guitar too. And then suddenly he stepped out because he had a solo part. Well, it was Prince. And baby, when I tell you Prince tore that up on that guitar, and this is called As My Soul Softly Cries, and it's after While My Guitar Gently Weeps by the Beatles. Lives are meaningless. The soundtrack today is loud, terrifying as blasts make their way into hoods uninvited. And the world watches and takes sides as my soul softly cries. Leaflets dropped from the air. Evacuate or face the consequences. With nowhere to go, what do you do? And the world watches while somebody sighs. Still my soul softly cries. Mothers wailing, mourning their dead, and the world watches and asks you to pick sides as my soul softly cries. Humanity be damned. The lines are drawn in the sand, and the world watches near and far, contemplating. Still my soul softly cries. While children are in the dark, hungry and afraid, never having been asked about these matters that affect their daily lives. And the world watches as it is still turning, as my soul softly cries. Thank you. All right. We're winding down some here. So these are just poems that I wanted to share. I don't know if they connect with each other in some kind of way, but I'll try to make them. So this first one was written at a Meta Factory in 2022. And the prompt was from a poet named Diane Seuss. Where is the drug to drug? Where is the sun to stop the sun from judging me? The sun to not let the sun take my shine away. The shine that wants to laze in the shade and just enjoy the breeze. How does the sun not allow the sun to blaze in the sky? Oh yeah, the moon. But that is not the sun, and even that doesn't dim its light. I only want to feel the warmth, but not feel the pull of the sun that says I must be sunny because the sun says so. Wait, is it just because that day Joshua asked for the sun to stand still till the battle was over? The battle between the smiling sun and the judgy sun is not over at least for me. Quite a few of these will be from some of the Meta Factory workshops. The last one I was able to attend was in November of last year. And Louise introduced me in a more personal way to Emily Dickerson. And so this prompt is inspired by There's a Certain Slant of Light, number 258. The amount of time you are present diminishes. Your warmth is missed, and I want you for more than that. The enjoyment I receive just from your presence is immeasurable. No need for artificial intelligence from sources man-made, because you wrap yourself around us all in the same way. Even on the days when Cumulus, Nimbus, or whichever show up, I can see a piece of you. But when the almost constant chill in the air signals a change that my greeting from you will be shorter lived, a sadness creeps in. But I know joy comes in the morning, and you never really went away. You just played your part.
What was the number? I'm going to play that and take 3 tonight.
258. Oh, that's Southside Tiffany over there. And she got up here and she told you guys not a whole lot. So let me tell you something about Southside Tiffany. I just have to. I mean, I got time. And the people need to know. The people need to know. Tiffany Lawson is an artist. Yes, she's an artist. Yes, she's that artist. That's right, Vernell. That's right. Tiffany, those bookmarks out there, those are being, they were commissioned by Prologue Bookstore for her to do. And they are based off of a piece that's right here, hanging in the gallery. Yeah, that one right there. Yes. So make sure you get a look at that. And then also there's a piece right here by Tiffany that you should make sure you get a look at. And Tiffany is the artist in residence here at Streetlight Guild. Yeah. So, yeah, I want to tell y'all about my girl, Tiff. This is a prompt from I Never Lost As Much But Twice, also by Emily Dickerson. And the prompt was, think of something terrible that happened to you more than once. I tell you, Louise be pushing you out there. Be like, yeah, but that's what she always says. It does work. Foolish little girl or grown woman. All giddy because someone pays you a bit of attention. All in from the beginning. All aflutter on the inside. All consumed in your mind. All planning your very life around them. All sure this is the one this time. All the signs are there from the start. All pushing back against the clues. All over dramatic when the inevitable happens and it ends. All set for revenge on the next one, but all for naught, 'cause the heart wants what the heart wants, even when all the cards are on the table. Okay, I just have a couple more. And then I'll be done here. And there she goes. Rachel, get your boo.
It wouldn't be right if I didn't.
The title of this is Grasp. It's right there, on the creases of time. Like if I only reach out at exactly the precise moment, I can rein it all in. I catch glimpses of it when I see the sweet meat of red melon with the seeds like obstacles to maneuver around to get to the joy of the occasion. Fleeting moments when the night sky is lit by the tiny lights of the big one, off in a symphony only they can hear. But if I listen, I can experience. Children running, playing in the street, mothers shouting, laughter ringing is music to live by in that moment. Races on foot or bicycle, balls tethered to the street signs for the chance to be the best in the hood that day. Picking rhubarb for a snack while seeing who remembered to sneak the sugar out to dip it in. Apples off the tree, pear, cherry, peaches too. Pit stops for sustenance and hydration out of the faucet on the side of someone's house. Sun is still high in the sky. Many more hours to explore are left. Dusk. Time for hide and seek. Tag. Mother says. Mother, may I? Simon says. Blink. A street light comes on. Scattering to respective front yards, with expecting adults on stoop or porch, and conveniently, empty jars await us. The chase for catching of the fireflies to observe, for our delight is on. Exhaustion of a good kind sets in. We say our good nights with sweet dreams of tomorrow, when it all starts again. A chain of events, unbroken by a handheld device, that brings real intention to the end. It's there on the creases of time, waiting for someone to reach out at the precise moment to rein it in. And this is my last one. We're only here till 5, and we want to fellowship a little bit. This is an image prompt. We had an image prompt of the covers of 4 volumes of selected poetry by Emily Dickerson. And I titled it Selected Poems. To a poet that inspires many, tucked in a drawer, saved by someone else to be shared with the world. Covers of books, not necessarily what you may have chosen, but possibly how the selector of said poems imagined you should or would have been depicted. How are the poems chosen? I imagine you have to not judge a book by its cover to inquire of this. Words waiting to be read and discovered by so many, almost lost. What a tragedy that would have been. Lineage is so important to so many things in time and space. Thank you for sharing yourself with us.
Come on.